So at the end of last year, I expanded my horizon into a direction I never thought I would. I became a licensed Pilates Reformer trainer. Now, I've been doing so many classes over the past couple of months, and I thought, why not for the first time make an instructional video for people who maybe have a machine at home or that go to a gym where there is no trainer, where they can use the machines freely. And we will go through all of the major muscle groups to work our full body, so let's check those exercises out. First things first, we're gonna work our way up from our legs all the way to our upper body. Starting in a lying down position, we're gonna place both feet right here. We're gonna keep one hand in between three. We're gonna keep our legs parallel, and the easiest beginner exercise is probably the classic squat. So we're gonna straighten our legs, and here what we want to do is include our feet and our lower legs, our gastrocnemius and soleus, by extending them fully, and in the extended position we are flexing from our tiptoes all the way to our quads right here, and then we return back. We repeat this either for multiple repetitions, or if you don't want to go for repetitions, you can go for time. That's what I do. For instance, 2 minutes per exercise. From here, we're going to increase the difficulty by extending one leg upwards. We want to keep static tension in the leg at all time during this exercise. Move our left foot more to the middle and repeat one side. The same exact exercise, just one side. Of course, you're going to do the other side too, left and right, and then we're going to move on to the next exercise. Now here, it's going to become a little bit more exhausting and a little bit more complicated, because we're going to turn our feet all the way outwards as far as we can. Our knees are going to be following our toes with all the leg exercises, meaning if we open our feet sideways, that's the same thing what we're going to do with our knees. And from here, we want to push with our quads turn outwards, and what that does is it helps us activate the side. It activates our gluteus medius and our ventral glutes. So basically, instead of having glute maximus activation, we have glute medius and ventral glute activation more. And we're going to repeat this for time or for repetitions. And then we're going to move on to the next exercise with the same starting position, but we're going to increase the amount of coordination we need. Straighten out, move inward, and we're going to be doing circular motions with our knees. Circular motions. You can either slow it down and take your time, or you can go for speed and agility. Now that we've worked mostly on our anterior chain from our legs, we're going to move back to our posterior chain. Now for this, we're going to have the same starting position we had at the very beginning. You can place your hands back here, and we're going to start with a classic glute bridge, which is basically just moving up, and from here we want to be contracting our lower back, our glutes, our biceps femoris, our gastrocnemius and soleus, and of course we want to put up our feet on our tiptoes to increase the amount of range of motion we have. And of course, we don't want to push away, we want to stay stationary and push up and down. We're going to repeat that either for time or for repetitions before we move on to the next exercise, which is one of the hardest ones we're going to be doing. Same starting position, 4 phases. Phase 1 is the glute bridge. Go up. Phase 2, straightening out. Now here we have our quads, our butt, and our lower legs flexed. We're going to start at the shoulders, and we're going to move down vertebrae after vertebrae. And the last thing that touches down is our butt, which means we have to have a lot of abdominal inclusion during this exercise. And the last phase is returning to our starting position. So the whole thing goes up, away, downward, and return. Up, away, downward, and return. Now we've pretty much worked our entire posterior chain in a single exercise, which means we can move on to make it even harder for our abdominals and our core by extending one leg and repeating the whole thing one-sided again. So, up, straight, down, return, and of course, repeat on the other side. As always, we can either go for repetitions, or we can go for time, or you can even go for time under tension, where we hold for 10 seconds, hold for 10 seconds, slowly down, and repeat the entire thing. Now we can finally move to our upper body exercises. Now keep in mind there are multiple sitting positions. I find this one to be the easiest one because it's much easier to stay upright in your upper body, which is going to be really important for the coming exercises. If you have problems with your knees, you can extend your legs between those. But other than that, I would recommend to sit like so, because we're going to stay upright all the time. We're going to grab those two, and we're going to start by opening sideways, which works on our rear delts and our back musculature, as well as including some of our neck musculature. Open sideways, try to use the full range of motion by adducting, pulling your shoulders back together and lengthening your shoulders in the front. Moving to the next exercise, we're going to work upwards. Now here, it's really important that you don't lean backwards. You want to actually stay as upright as possible, stay shoulder width apart with your arms, and repeat the whole process. We're going to either work on repetitions or time. It totally depends on you. Which moves us to the next exercise, increasing the difficulty by working one side. Don't rotate your upper body, just left side, right side, and repeat the whole process again for the other exercise. Upward, left side, right side. During both exercises, our arms are always extended, both of them at all times. Now we can move on to include some more of our rhomboids and our traps by turning our hands up, which is also going to increase the tension we have on our arms and biceps. We're going to be pulling in and including our triceps by doing triceps extension at the very end. So it's a rowing motion and extension. We move back and we repeat the whole process as many times as you want to. Either you're going to do, again, repetitions or time, or even time under tension as we discussed before. Now you might have noticed we haven't yet included our chest musculature, so we're going to do that by turning around. I'll see you in a second. So now that we've switched positions, we're going to grab those two again, and now depending on how much range of motion you have, by pulling your shoulder blades back, you can increase the run for the movement. And I have my chest including my frontal deltoids and my biceps. As you can see, we're going to open up and we're going to repeat again. And of course, for this exercise, the same principle by working one-sided and trying to keep the rotation in our upper body to a minimum. Once we've done that, we're going to lower our arms and start working diagonally upwards to increase the amount of stress we have on our upper chest musculature as well as our deltoids. Up and diagonally down, up and diagonally down. Which brings us to our last exercise. We're going to open sideways and up and try to do full rotation. Slowly go down. Now we have included all the muscles in our rotator cuffs surrounding our shoulders, our back and our chest in a single movement. This concludes our exercises for today. I know that's a little bit different from the other content that I do, but I was happy to have you here, and I'll see y'all tomorrow because new videos every day. Captain Cairo, peace out.